Welcome to the AFR Saints channel, where we provide you daily content on your favorite team, the New Orleans Saints. Do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to leave your comments below and smash that like button. Who dat? Not out there for the New Orleans Saints is Michael Thomas, and certainly we know why. Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis did meet with the media. This happened yesterday near the end of our show, and it's pretty clear they are not super pumped about this. First, Sean Payton on Michael Thomas's surgery.
Well, look, it appears we're going to have to spend some time without him. It's disappointing, and we'll work through it with the other players that are here. But the surgery took place, and obviously, we would have liked that to have happened earlier than later. And quite honestly, it should have.
Ooh. Payton's a guy that usually defends his players. That's not one of those instances. Mickey Loomis was equally as perturbed.
He came back. He played in the last two postseason games, Still had a few issues after the season. It was decided that he was going to treat that conservatively, and I think we all had an expectation that that would heal and he'd be fine coming into camp this year. But we get to the mini camp, and obviously it wasn't quite right, and so we had to make a call and collectively made the call to have the surgery in June. Obviously, if we would have preferred that surgery to be earlier in February or March, but it wasn't. Hopefully he's had a good result so far, and hopefully we'll get him back sooner rather than later. So
they're telling you this was not an organizational decision. This was a personal decision made by Thomas. Both the GM and the head coach are telling you they would have preferred the surgery happen earlier, and Sean Payton said it should have happened earlier. It's Michael Thomas who made the decision based on whatever medical advice he got from the Saints staff or his personal doctors to try rehab instead of having the surgery. The rehab clearly didn't work as he showed up in June for minicamp, wasn't right, and ends up having the surgery. So they're in the situation they're in. Now, Loomis was also acting. I think this is important for one reason in particular. Loomis was asked why, or for how long they knew that Thomas was going to have the surgery.
Well, look, obviously, when he had that surgery, that was determined in June, and so we've known since then that the conservative treatment didn't work, and that we had to do surgery. So we've had a little time.
The reason that's relevant is because obviously this week, after the news broke about Michael Thomas's ankle, only then did the Saints bring in Chris Hogan and ultimately sign him. So it is likely, if they knew in June, they've known for more than a month, it's likely they had been sifting through possible receiver options for a month, that they knew this was going to happen. So it's not like they picked up the phone to call Chris Hogan on 2 days' notice, brought him in, worked him out. That was that. This is obviously something that they've known about for a while and had more time to process than we have and make their decision about how they want to proceed. And maybe the fact that Hogan is the only guy they've brought in and haven't been more aggressive in pursuing options tells you they feel pretty good about the options that they have. Now, Sean Payton did talk about the other wide receivers that are there right now for New Orleans.
Yeah, look, the guys we have, we think we've got a number of guys that have played quite a bit. We'll always pay close attention to the roster. And kind of go from there. But I couldn't say today that all of a sudden that's something. There's other pressing positions ahead of that position.
Other pressing positions ahead of that position. Look, Mickey Loomis basically said the same thing.
Yeah, look, I think we like our group of receivers probably more than some of the media guys do, but we'll adjust accordingly.
So again, piece this together. They've known for more than a month that Michael Thomas is going to miss the first 5 games, and they didn't aggressively pursue receivers. They only now have signed 33-year-old Chris Hogan. I always say actions speak louder than words. the fact that they haven't more aggressively pursued a receiver tells you they really do like their group. And Sean Payton said, look, we have more pressing needs, and cornerback is obviously one of them.
There's still an area there. There's still a position there. There's still a player there that we need to find. We'll continue looking and looking at everyone that we think might be a candidate to fill that
Must. Sean Payton calling cornerback a must. They are not going into this season with the guys they have. And this is after they've added Brian Poole. And listen, I could lay out a scenario where Lattimore is on one side and P-Rob is on the other. That lets you keep C.J. Gardner-Johnson in his role. P.J. Williams can stay in his role in the slot. I mean, I don't think you'd love the idea of having Patrick Robinson as a boundary corner. And maybe Paulson Adebo steps up, but he's telling you there, that's a must, not a want, or that is a must. They are going to add another cornerback before the start of the season. So he's telling you that's the position that we need to keep an eye on right now. So the conversations about Xavier Howard potentially as a trade or other targets as you move through camp and guys maybe fall victim to the cut line. That's the position to watch, clearly, not receiver. And it speaks to something we talk about so much. Sean Payton finds guys to be productive pass catchers. I have no doubt that they'll do it again this year. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.